When Ford's CEO walked onto the stage at the company's internal powertrain summit, no one was prepared for what came next. Ford has spent years moving toward electrification, expanding its hybrid lineup, and embracing smaller turbocharged engines. Everything pointed toward a future where diesel would slowly fade into the background. Then came the shock. Ford is developing a gigantic new diesel engine for its 2027 heavy-duty trucks, an engine that insiders are already calling the most extreme diesel the company has ever built in the modern era. This wasn't a leak. It wasn't speculation. It was a bold, direct announcement from Ford's leadership, and it instantly signaled that the company is rewriting its truck strategy. The response was immediate and intense. Fans were stunned, analysts were caught off guard, and competitors were forced to pay attention. This isn't just about a new engine. It's about why Ford is doubling down on diesel, what this monster power plant could mean for the 2027 Super Duty lineup, and how it could reshape the entire diesel truck battlefield for years to come. For a long time, most experts believed diesel was on its way out. Emissions regulations were getting stricter, governments were pushing harder toward electrification, GM and Ram were quietly shifting their focus toward electric platforms, and Ford was widely expected to lean deeper into hybrids, expand Power Boost into its heavy-duty lineup, and gradually reduce diesel to a niche option. But Ford refused to play by that script. According to several senior engineers who spoke anonymously to industry publications, Ford has been developing an all-new diesel engine from the ground up, not an update, not a mild refresh, a complete redesign that is more advanced, more durable, and far more powerful than today's 6.7-liter Power Stroke. Inside sources describe the 2027 diesel as physically larger, significantly stronger, far better at managing heat, engineered for future emissions rules, and capable of output levels that push into a new class altogether. So, when the CEO officially confirmed the project, it sent a clear message. Diesel is not dying at Ford. In fact, Ford is preparing to make it more dominant than ever. While full specifications are still under wraps, enough credible information has surfaced to paint a clear picture of Ford's ambition. First, displacement. The new engine will be larger than the current 6.7-liter. Most experts believe it will fall somewhere between 7.3 and 8.0 liters, putting it among the largest and most aggressive pickup diesels in the modern era. That choice is deliberate. Bigger displacement means massive low RPM torque, quicker turbo response, less strain under heavy towing, cooler operating temperatures, and far greater long-term durability. It also creates a much higher ceiling for future performance upgrades. In simple terms, Ford isn't just building a diesel, they're building a weapon designed to dominate the heavy-duty towing world. 2. A new heat management architecture. According to a senior powertrain engineer quoted in Automotive Driveline Quarterly, the 22,000T diesel uses a brand new cooling layout with an oversized oil-to-water heat exchanger, multi-stage coolant routing, reinforced exhaust manifold shielding, and a redesigned turbo position to reduce heat soak. 4 torque targets of 1,300 to 1,400 pound-feet. This number may sound aggressive, almost unbelievable, but diesel engineers say it's achievable. GM's 2024 Duramax reached 975 pound-feet. Ram's Cummins HO pushed past 1,000 pound-feet. Ford doesn't just want to beat them. Ford wants to crush them. Torque is the currency of towing dominance, and Ford wants a record. 5. Emissions technology that is actually future-proof. A major diesel expert, Dr. Thomas Reeves, a former Navistar emissions engineer, commented that Ford's latest patents imply dual-stage EGR, variable pressure injection, and a high-capacity DPF with thermal preconditioning. This would allow the 2027 diesel to meet both US and European emission standards through the early 2030s. In other words, Ford isn't building a diesel for the next 3 years, they're building one for the next 10 to 12 years. You know, most people assume diesel engines are kind of fading out, but truck industry specialists actually say the opposite is happening in the heavy-duty market. First off, fleet buyers still want diesel. Construction crews, ranchers, oil field operators, and disaster response fleets aren't switching to electric anytime soon. They want long-range, fast refueling, high heat tolerance, and reliability under heavy load. And, honestly, electric heavy-duty trucks just can't deliver this yet. An industry expert from Morgan Truck Analytics explained it pretty bluntly. Electric heavy-duty trucks are still a decade away from practicality. Diesel is the only option for extreme load and extreme duty cycles. Ford knows this, and they're really capitalizing on it. Second, GM and Ram left an opening. GM's future diesel strategy became uncertain after internal documents revealed reduced budgets for future Duramax development. Ram's Cummins program is stable, but ultra-long-term investment is slowing. Ford saw a competitive void and is ready to fill it with force. Third, Ford wants long-term towing leadership. For nearly 20 years, Ford and GM have battled for towing supremacy, but Ford's CEO recently told investors, "We intend to lead the towing and heavy-duty capability race for years, not months." A bigger diesel is the foundation for that goal. Fourth, diesel remains more profitable than EVs. Here's the quiet truth. Ford makes higher margins on Super Duty trucks than on electric vehicles. A senior automotive economist explained, every F-Series Super Duty sold generates multiple times the profit of an electric vehicle. Ford has to protect that income stream. Developing a monster diesel ensures premium pricing and premium profit. First, a new high-output diesel trim is on the way. Expect something above the current HO Powerstroke, possibly branded as Powerstroke X, Powerstroke Max, Extreme Duty Diesel, or simply an HO Plus variant. This trim will target the 450, 550, and 650 series. Second, a new transmission will be required to handle 1,300-plus pound-feet of torque. A retired Cummins chief engineer said, "Ford is swinging for the fences. This kind of displacement increase shows they're preparing for extreme load applications. It's bold and gutsy." A former GM powertrain director added, "The competition is now forced to respond. You can't let Ford go unchallenged in the diesel market." And a truck market analyst from Auto Forecast Solutions said, "Ford is reading the market better than anyone. Diesel isn't dead, it's evolving. The excitement is massive, especially since heavy-duty truck buyers value power, durability, and bragging rights more than anything." Will this be the last monster diesel Ford ever builds? That's the big question, and experts believe the answer is yes. This new 2027 diesel could be the last all-new Ford diesel, the final era of combustion-dominant heavy-duty power plants, the peak of diesel engineering before electrification takes over. That's why Ford is going big. The chance to build a legendary diesel may never come again. Ford's CEO didn't simply announce a new engine, he announced a strategic shift, a clear investment in the future of heavy-duty performance. Experts agree on several key points. This engine exists because diesel demand remains strong. Ford wants permanent towing dominance. GM and Ram left the door open. Emissions technology now allows cleaner, more powerful diesels. The 2027 Monster diesel may become a historic final chapter. This is more than an engine. It's a statement, a declaration that Ford refuses to let diesel fade quietly, and instead will unleash its most powerful, most sophisticated, and most extreme diesel ever built.